All right, I got a challenge for you right now. I want you to click pause, and I want you to walk into your bathroom or to your living room or somewhere where you have baseboards, and I want you to look to see if you have a gap in between where your wall comes down in the back of your baseboard. Can you see that unsightly gap? That's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it, so how do you get it to look something like this? Streamlined, clean. How do you get rid of that gap? So we're going to be solving that problem in this video. Welcome to this video. It starts now, and to my channel. If you're just stopping by, be sure to subscribe. Click that subscribe button for regular do-it-yourself solutions that I put out weekly or so. If you are already a subscriber, thanks for coming back and watching another one of my videos. Very, very happy that you are here. So to start this video, we are not going to be using silicone, nor are you going to go buy some fancy tub and tile caulking. But this is going to be the solution. You're going to need a bottle of this. Cheap paintable caulking. That is going to be the solution here. I will put a link down in the description below for what I like to use here. It's nothing fancy. I think a tube of this at your local hardware store will cost you, $1.89 or $2.19 or something like that. We're not breaking the bank here. We're going to get a tube of this stuff. We're going to cut off the end of it. Now, my particular tube happens to be used, so it might kind of jam up on you a little bit. But I like this stuff because it's designed for paint, okay? And we might need to paint after we're done here, but it also cleans up super well. So what I'm going to be doing is applying a little bit, and check out my finger there, my technique. I'm actually going to be applying it, and you can get kind of thick. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go crazy. Put it on like that. Let's get another view here. All right, just kind of fill that gap as much as you can. There might be some small holes, no problem. Okay, just get some on there. And then you're going to take your finger, and this stuff cleans up super well. It's not like silicone, 100% silicone or anything. And in one pass before it dries, so don't wait too long. If you wait too long, it's going to start drying. It's going to give you problems. So immediately, put on maybe, 24 inches or so at a time, and then immediately put your finger on there and smooth that out. And that's going to make a real streamlined transition and cover that unsightly gap that we saw earlier. And you could also do it on the back of your door jambs too. Now, you might be asking yourself the question, okay, great. What if that leaves like, noticeable white caulking then? Well, the idea is to get it so thin that it covers the gap, but it's not thick enough to be noticeable, and it's going to transition really well into the actual paint. Now, I have a lighter paint color right there. You can see like a baby blue in this particular bathroom. So maybe yours is darker and it'll be a little noticeable. You could, once it's dry, put some painter's tape on there if you need to, or just, I don't like painter's tape, but you could just get out a paintbrush and go over it and, cover up some of that caulking a little bit if you need to. Now, if you have, natural wood colored baseboards and trim, this might not work as well for you. I understand that. But if you do have white baseboards, or, maybe you could get a translucent paintable caulking if they make something like that. I'll try to look and put some links down below if that some variety for you if you don't have this particular setup. But this is what works for me, and I've done this throughout all the rooms in my house. Gone along because sometimes that drywall actually bends in a little bit and creates a gap over the years. So this is what I like to do. I think it just gives it kind of a polished, clean, newer look. And of course, wipe it down before it dries. Make sure I'm happy with that gap being covered. And then do a little painting if you need to over it once it's completely dry. And then call it good. Let's take another look here. Got a pretty good sized gap. And like I said, this tube that I'm using is a little old, so it kind of dries up at the tip. And if you don't get that out of there, if you just kind of push it down, it'll come back to the nozzle and clog up a little bit. So that's what's going on. It's a little slow, but you get the idea, I think. And immediately take your finger and get it as thin as you can, pushing it into, making sure that gap is covered completely. And get it as thin as possible with your finger, right? Get as much of that off as you can. And it should leave a really nice line covering that gap. Some more visuals for you. And you can test it out first, start small. If you're not comfortable or confident. And you'll have a bunch excess left over on your finger right after each pass. So have a paper towel nearby. And that is it. We'll stop the video there. Hopefully this has helped you out. Don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to the channel for more do-it-yourself ideas and solutions. Thanks.